Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout to share for Simple Stories. I am using the Say Cheese at the Park collection, which is one of the new Disney inspired collections. So this whole collection has the main collection, which is called Say Cheese at the Park, and then it has a whole bunch of little side collections as well, things like Frontier at the Park and Fantasy at the Park, those kind of things. So I'm using the main collection, so the Say Cheese at the Park. I had an idea that I wanted to use some of the lovely pattern papers, and I wanted to get quite a few of them onto a page, so I thought I would create a layout with some strips of papers. So I've picked out some of my favourites, the red one with spots on, the yellow one with kind of glitter on, and the balloon one, and then I pulled out this journaling card as well from the Journal Elements paper, but that ended up not making it onto the layout. It was just a bit too wide. So I've cut some strips. They're around 2 inches and they're varying lengths, and then I'm going to cut the bottoms into V shapes, kind of to create flags, and they are all going to come from underneath my photo, which I'm planning to use one of the lovely chipboard frames. So here we go, just skip forward a little bit there. You can see that I have cut all my my strips into the flag shapes. I've actually distressed the edges and then sewn around them in black thread, and I've got my photos into one of those gorgeous chipboard frames. I've used 2 photos. This frame was obviously perfect, and I've just positioned my my frame at the top of those flags. So in theory they were all the same height, but it didn't matter because some were hidden behind the frame itself. So now I'm creating a couple of areas of embellishment. So I thought I would do one either side of the photos, so one on the left by the camera icon on the frame, and then one over on the right as well. I've added a chipboard kind of beaded bunting to the bottom of the Say Cheese frame, and that looks really pretty. I love all the colours, and then I'm just working on my clusters. So I've got little fireworks ephemera. I'm using the bits and pieces pack and the chipboard as well. I've got a couple of tickets over on the right hand side, and then I've got some chipboard pieces that I'm slotting in here and there, and more of the ephemera pieces as well. So really just kind of working it all out, building up, adding layers, and getting things tucked into place and stuck in place as well. So I'm really mindful of the colours of the clusters because I have a lot going on this layout already with all the different pattern papers, so I just need to be careful not to overload things. It's very easily done when I have the whole collection at my disposal, but I have to restrain myself sometimes and think less is more. Yeah, I think I've just about get the balance looking okay. On the top there I've added a cloud and sun ephemera, and then I've added the words Main Street, which is a chipboard piece, I believe. Yes, it is. I love that little chipboard lamppost that I've put in just to the left of the photos. That's just super cute. And over on the right I've got a little signpost chipboard as well that I've just popped in there too. So it's coming together nicely, building it up. I just wanted to add some little stickers from the sticker book, little phrase stickers. They're really cute, but they're quite thin stickers, and I was just I wanted them to be a bit more sturdy, and also to have a white border because they didn't show up too well against the pattern papers. So I stuck them onto some white card, and then I've just carefully cut them out with my scissors. And that way they're sturdy, they show up well, and I can also raise them on foam pads, which is something that I really like doing. Yeah, just getting those stuck on and in place there. They say magical memories, a day at the park, and happy, 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 which we certainly were. This is when we found Peter Pan. Now I did struggle a bit with the photos because of Peter Pan's neon green outfit. I did consider reprinting them in black and white, but that was going to be a bit of a challenge because my printer's broken down. So I kind of had to go with what I've got. Okay, so I'm pretty much finished. I've added a few sequins around the fireworks areas of the embellishment clusters, because I just felt that it just needed a little bit more. I've added some enamel dots too, and some pieces from the foam stickers as well, the little stars, but I just felt that it needed a few sequins. Oh, I think I haven't added them yet. Maybe I added them later. Sorry, I thought I was all finished at this point, and then I'm just adding a border. So yeah, I felt that the layout needed a border, and I wanted to use this red paper, but I'd already cut into it. And I do have a second sheet, but I didn't have it on hand, and I also felt that I didn't want to cut in to a second collection. So I thought I would make do with what I had, which was a large piece of this, even though it wasn't 12 by 12. So I cut inch strips, and then I just mitered the corners, and then created this little frame, this 12 by 12 frame, which works perfectly well as a border. So that's a little tip there. If you're a bit short on pattern paper, that works perfectly. And I have, it only works with some patterns, doesn't work with all patterns. Depends on how busy the pattern is, or how perfect the pattern is, but on the whole it works pretty well, even with stripes. Yeah, so I'm just then I've trimmed my layout down, and I'm going to stick that in the middle of the border there. It looks really lovely. I'm happy with how that looks. I felt that that red really kind of brought it all together, yeah, I was just really happy with how that turned out. So yeah, coming together okay, and just roughed up the edges a little bit more to give it some extra dimension. So just adding in a little bit of journaling now, using a grey journaling pen, and I'm writing directly onto the pattern paper, but I've chosen the lightest paper I can find, and plainest as well. Obviously the writing shows up better on plainer and light coloured papers. Obviously I normally try to write onto white if I can, but it doesn't always work. Here I am now adding those sequins that I thought I had already added. Like I said, I just had the fireworks in those embellishments and in those embellishment clusters, and I just thought it would look nice to have some extra sparkle around those. So that's why I added a few little sequins from my stash. Okay, so that is the layout pretty much complete. I just wanted to finish off with a few paint splatters, and I decided to go bold and go for black. It's very brave when using black paint, I always feel, on a layout. I had so much, I had some white background there, and I just felt that the black was better. It's got black pops of black in the layout anyway, and I just felt that the black was a better match on this occasion. So just a few splatters there, and this is the layout all complete. So it is quite a busy layout, yeah, bright colours, lots of patterns, so it is quite busy, but I like how it turned out. I'm really happy that I finally got these photos scrapped. They've been in my to-do scrap pile for a few years now. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the layout. Check out the Say Cheese at the Park collection by Simple Stories. That was Nikki Rowland for Simple Stories.